Three, two, one. L Juice E2 Performance.
Welcome back to another episode of E2 Performance Podcast.
Does that feel normal yet?
No, not really.
Okay, today's episode is coping with COVID.
COVID's lounge.
I almost feel like, to a degree, this doesn't need to be done, but I think we need to do it anyways. I think there's a lot of different good coping strategies and things out there all over the internet to try to make this the best situation it can possibly be. But for anybody who's listening to us, we're just going to kind of give you our feedback on what we think you could be doing during this time.
Yeah. And again, this is coming from a point of view and a perception from someone who's living in Canada. We're in Calgary.
Yeah, it's a little different.
This is a Calgary-based podcast. So it might not be the same for everyone, but we're gonna give it as how we see it
from our perspectives. So we're going to talk about a couple of the good things coming from COVID, because there's always a little bit of silver lining to the clouds. And then we're going to talk about some potential coping strategies that either we have utilized ourselves or that we think is beneficial regardless of circumstance. So let's talk about the good things of COVID. What you feel? What you thinking, Ming?
And again, we're trying to say this from our perspective, but definitely for my household, I feel like AJ's definitely enjoying more time with the kids too. Like them not being in school. Obviously, it's a lot more work for her, right? Because they're doing homeschooling now.
Yeah.
But just in general, I think, wouldn't know what the percentage would be, but if people got laid off, like we're at an all-time high for people applying for EI, right? So a lot more people are at home right now, especially with the isolation. So I think just more time in general, but more time with the family.
Again, the more time aspect, like we think it's a good thing that people have more time, but how you utilize said time or how you view that time, like it almost gives you enough freedom. You can go crazy with it, or you can make it as beneficial as possible. So when we say talking about more time, we're talking about having more quality family time, more quality time. Like me personally, I've been doing a lot of reflection on my priorities, because I felt like when I was working and in the groove, I was so busy that I didn't have time to think really about what was most important to me. I was just kind of going through the motions. More time for hobbies and things that can actually make you feel more fulfilled, and just more time for growth in general, whether that's through exercising or reading books or becoming more spiritual. Like it's just more time in general. Those are the good things you can do with this said time. Obviously, the bad things we could do is watch Tiger King.
And spend 5 hours on TikTok. I know someone.
Ooh, yeah. That's not me. I'm actually, with the TikTok thing, I'm actually going against the grain so hard where I'm like, I'm not buying into this BS. I don't want to download TikTok. I don't want to view TikTok. I don't want to get into TikTok. So I'm on that resistant, like, I don't want to. And if I download it like 3 months from now and someone calls me out about it, that's going to be a sad time.
I don't think I'll be downloading it at all. Probably not. I don't see the need for it. There's a lot of things that we have that we don't need, to be honest. But that's another.
Like Instagram and Facebook. It's just more content to consume, more social media crap to consume. Some of it has entertainment value, some of it has good value, but TikTok's a different strategy or a different thing. What's I only have three good things of COVID that we want to talk about. I'm not sure what was on your list, but my second item was, to a degree, we are definitely less connected from our loved ones and from our friends and family. But at the same time, you might be more connected during this moment, actually reaching out to people that you haven't talked to for a while. Or for me personally, I've been connecting with my friends normally on Saturdays to connect on group calls and play games and stuff like that. So I'm actually sometimes talking to my friends more so than I did previously.
Yeah, same on our end. It's we've created a lot of group chats, and we've joined a lot of group chats with like families that we haven't chatted with for a long time, and they're on other like different parts of the world, right? But it's almost like, hey, we haven't chatted in a while. This is a good time. I have extra time that I can, like, if I create a group chat and just send a message to everyone saying hey, and it almost kind of it's like you're catching up with everyone that you haven't talked to in a while, just because you have the extra time.
Yeah. And again, this has been said through many different outlets, but like, thankfully we have the ability to have calls like this, or be able to even broadcast a call like this for other people to try to stay connected to us. You know, I would almost say, actually I wouldn't almost say, guaranteed, you are the person that I probably FaceTime at least once a day, even if we just talk for 2 minutes and then hang up. I don't really do that with other people.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to have somebody like that it's valuable and it feels good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So less connected, but more connected. Then the last one was the good thing about it. I guess it revolves around reflection time, but it's the ability to kind of reaffirm your priorities, like spend more time and focus on your loved ones, and also truly understand what's truly essential. Because I think a lot of people, it kind of goes along that mindset of like, you know, you have excess money, you work so hard, you have excess money but less time, so you buy more shit that you don't need. So it's like, oh, well, you have 100 different t-shirts and Lululemon and Sport Check are emailing you and they're telling you like, oh, look, buy this newest, latest, greatest crap. And like, I don't think people are buying the newest and latest, greatest crap anymore, because they're not going to the malls and getting bombarded with all this advertisement and even social pressure. You know what I mean? Like social pressure. If I go to the gym and I see you wearing that Nike tank top, I'm like, damn, that's a nice Nike tank top. I might be more inclined to buy that if I saw it on the shelf, because I saw my buddy wearing it. You know, my buddy wore it, looked good on him, and I want one too.
Mm-hmm. Right? I think another thing that is good, like for me, we're talking about good things that came out of COVID. I think a lot more people became resourceful to just, again, knowing that you only have a handful of essentials for you to actually live, right? But then we already know and we believe in fitness and health. So if I take it to that topic of exercise and blood flow, and making sure that you're practicing movement and mobility for health, a lot more people have learned to utilize things that have been available to them this whole entire time. And it's just like, let's say a bench at home or a side table or a dowel, like they're anything. It's endless, like things that you can do at home with very little to almost no equipment, because of the gym closures, because of you can't even go to parks, you can't go for a hike now, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
well, with that too, it gives more people more time to actually hopefully want to learn how to cook good food. You know, we might have mentioned like at the start of the COVID situation at the grocery store, everything that sold out the quickest was all the easiest shit to cook. The whole produce section still like fully stocked, but all the like craft dinner and
canned
microwave, all the canned goods, all the microwave stuff was all the first to go, right?
Frozen stuff.
Yeah.
They're all out too.
Yeah.
Still is, actually.
For me, I think another one, my last one about the good things about COVID would definitely be, you definitely see people, you know, tough times bring people together. It gives people a reason to like get more connected and care more. Like the amount of people that are like offering, saying, you know, like if you need something, I'll get it for you. Like if you need toilet paper or paper towel or food, or if your wife immunocompromised, like I'll get this for you and I'll bring it to you. Like a lot more people are coming together and kind of like one of my clients actually, her name is Amy. She was talking to me and we were just touching base with each other. And she's like, you know, me and my family, we're doing a bunch of baked goods and I would like to bring you some, just drop it off at your doorstep, social distancing style. I'm just going to knock on the door and put it on the doorstep or whatever, and I'll just give it to you. Just we're trying to keep people positive during this time. A lot of people are doing good things like that. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep things positive.
And on that note, like to me, like we always talk about gratitude journals, being grateful, being thankful of things that we have. I think the best way to show it off is by giving back. So if you're in a position where you feel like you can offer something to someone, especially at this point, be very I'm not saying be very generous, but be very generous of your effort and time, even to just like pick up a grocery for someone older, who's very high risk and don't want to leave their house, anything like that. Also, I want to go back to when you said earlier that like essentials, like being, what was the word I'm looking for? It's just being knowing your priorities, I guess, right? It's like us living in this very fast-paced world, I think a lot of us take for granted simple things like spending time with friends, like actually visiting friends, seeing people in person, giving someone a hug, giving someone a high five, right? Like those are things, little things that we maybe some people took for granted before, and now you know, and just craving for that human connection. I think it's straightening a lot of people out now, that knowing that those are the things that I miss the most, and those are the things that don't even cost me anything. It's funny, right? And also the realization that money is not everything. Obviously, it's good to have it, right? But money and power doesn't protect you from anything like this. Mm-hmm. You could be. I mean, you'll probably have more resources than others, right? But it doesn't exempt you from being affected by it, or let's say dying from it even.
Yeah.
Right. So essential things, basically food, friends, relationships with other people. Those are still the most important things. I don't think that's ever changed on my end anyway. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people like realize that more this time.
Yeah. On that same note, for me, I've experienced that like with my animals. So I have a cat and a dog. Francis is the cat, Coba's the dog. I noticed when I was really in the groove of life and everything was going so fast, and I'd like do this like a train, like just kind of chugging along, I wasn't quite as like aware of their presence all the time, being like it was easier to ignore the cat sometimes because I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work, I gotta make breakfast and go to work and then work out, come home, wash dishes, walk the dog, go to bed, do it all over again.
It's just fast.
Yeah, and now I have more time to kind of like actually wake up. The cat will look at me and I'll be like, Francis, what are you doing, man? And then he'll come over and be like, oh, hey, Dad, you're awake. And I'll give him some love. And then Koba sees me giving Francis love. So Koba comes like, I almost forget, that animals, they're like little souls. You know what I mean? Like they're not little humans, but they still have little souls. And I almost was so caught up in the craziness of the hecticness of being an adult in life that I forgot to give them like the extra love that they deserve. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
Do you want to move on? Coping strategies?
Coping strategies, yes.
Coping with COVID.
What can someone do to be in a better position, I guess? Or is that what we're kind of going for with this? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so for you per se, you're still working. Yeah. Your schedule hasn't changed that much. Your job has changed a bit, but your schedule hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So have you had to implement any additional coping strategies to reduce anxiety or reduce stress or make you feel better? Or is it pretty much just business as usual?
For me, it's business as usual. I'm still around like a few fitness professionals that I spend like day in and day out with, just at a different gym. But I've been talking to a lot of people, and I think what I've helped them the most is just having either an online coach, a really good friend, or a family member that kind of keeps them accountable to what they need to do day in and day out, just an accountability buddy. I guess. For example, I was chatting with a lady yesterday, and she's like, "Yeah, I have kidney problems, and the gym has actually brought me a lot of, you know, it's brought a lot of good in my life. But now the gym's gone. Like I don't see myself drinking enough water because I'm not sweating more. There's just a lot like." Basically her schedule just got flipped around, and then now she's kind of like lost as to what to do, right? So even a small little thing that I told her yesterday, I'm like, here's my phone number. You know what, why don't we text each other every morning? It'll take me about 20 seconds to text you, but if that makes a difference on your end to kind of like remind you to walk on your treadmill or drink your water or whatever that is, like just having someone
Yeah.
that it's almost like someone that you want to like impress, or someone that you just want to chat with a little bit, will trigger the actions that you need to do for the day. And I think that's not everyone needs it, but someone does.
Yeah. The accountability buddy, that goes hand in hand with staying connected with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's different ways to approach that too. Like you said, it can be as simple as that, or it could be you have an accountability buddy who you guys are going to tackle workouts together
Yeah.
in a format like this, a bodyweight
Yeah.
home workout. And I've said this personally on my social media. We've talked a lot about building habits, and environment is key to building habits. If you have a bad environment, it's hard to build that good habit. The gym was the environment. You don't have that anymore, and you have your environment of home. Home is supposed to be a place of relaxation, recharging, good vibes, not necessarily beating the crap out of yourself
Mm-hmm.
for your workout.
Of course.
So staying connected, having an accountability buddy, I think you should have your workouts right now, personally, short and sweet. I think they should be something extremely doable, so you can't talk yourself out of it. Be like, well, I got to work out for an hour or hour and a half. Do 20 minutes. Do 15 minutes.
Just move.
Stretch. Get your phone timer out, put a timer on, and stretch on the floor while you scroll through Instagram or whatever. Just move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having an accountability buddy to that can be very beneficial, especially if you set up some form of schedule with your accountability buddy. Like we're gonna get connected every second day and do this, right? Even if it's not working out per se, I've personally had breakfast not meetings. Breakfast is with some friends where we get on FaceTime and we just, breakfast is cooked at 9 a.m. We're going to have breakfast together. It's through this format, but I'm eating, what are you eating? Oh, I'm eating this? Oh, go, yeah, cool. Do you make a good breakfast? Like,
and again, taking advantage of this technology that we have, like we're so blessed to be living in this time when this all happened.
Yeah.
Again, you have access to this.
So
go back 20 years ago, that's zero for you.
That is one of our coping strategies, staying connected, having an accountability buddy, whether it's for exercise or breakfast meetings. Another good one, Diane actually does this with her friends. They basically have a book club where it holds her accountable to actually reading a book, and then they all get on a call and they talk about it after. They're like, what did you guys think of this chapter? And what did you think about this? Now, their book club isn't a fiction-based book. It's kind of like a self-development book. But regardless of whatever book you want to read, whether it's just fantasy or fiction or development, having an accountability or an online book club would be valuable to stay connected, right? So,
absolutely.
Coping strategy, stay connected.
What else?
Obviously, we talk about this and we preach it, but exercise is a coping strategy. The benefits to your body, to your mind, to your soul of trying to exercise at least every other second day, it's huge. So that kind of ropes around into having an accountability buddy to get the job done. But there's so much like complimentary information out there, all over Instagram, all over YouTube, and it's such high quality information, like high quality programs and stuff that you could follow, and it's all free.
Yeah.
So excuse wise, there's not a lot you can do to say excuses there other than just the accountability, or the discipline can be the challenge. Hence, get an accountability buddy or get a good coach. Now, me personally, I have 3 other coping strategies I personally do, because it's no lie for me anyways. during this time, I've been having anxiety. I've been having like increased like chest tightness kind of across my chest, and I don't feel that good. I have good days and bad days, but I would say the good days are more neutral, and the bad days is everything beyond, like everything lower than neutral, right? So I've been focusing on meditation. The app that I'm using right now is called Waking Up. It's the author, or the guy who created the app, was called Sam Harris. The reason I really enjoyed this app was each meditation session is only 10 minutes flat. Now, you do have to pay for the app eventually, which I did do for commitment and investment purposes. But the 10-minute meditation streams, and it's nothing crazy like chanting a mantra or trying to get into a deep state. It's more about just mindfulness and just about being aware, like observing. So when you're in a bad situation or a good situation, it almost like it's about going inside your own mind and just observing the good things that are happening. So I would recommend people check that out. The app is called Waking Up. It gives you 5 days of meditation for free. I found it very beneficial just to kind of observe my own body and how, like, it's like doing like a checks and balances of how you feel, right?
How long have you been doing it now?
I've done it for 6 days straight. I don't miss a day right now. Like I said, it's 5 days. It's 5 days for free. There's additional free content in there. Beyond the 5 days, it costs $100 for the year. And I spoke to Diane about it because obviously $100 for an app is definitely expensive. But again, it's kind of that aspect of like, I invested money into it now. Now I almost need to get something out of it. So I'm more likely to be committed.
Depends on your perceived value, of course,
yeah.
Right? So if you think that's...
And me personally, the 5 days I did of this app, I saw value in the meditation and I did decide to do it. It's definitely something I think, like per se, like yourself, I think you could do 5 days and I think you would see value out of it. Maybe not enough to spend $100, but maybe enough that you might try to do it by yourself from time to time. Right? So it's whatever approach you're going to take to it.
Yeah.
So that's another coping strategy for me. Meditation or prayer, if you're very religious, would be a definite approach. I'm sure you take that approach probably every night. That
has been, yeah.
So the other two that I've been working on is, obviously we preach gratitude journals a lot. Being grateful for what you have is like the epitome of happiness, because I take a mindset of like, what happens if you're not going to get any more than what you got today? What if it's as good as it's going to be today, right? So being grateful for what you have in the moment is key. And lastly, I personally find that myself, I'm a habitual overthinker. So my brain likes to think about every possible outcome, from the good one to the bad one, but normally I will focus from medium to bad ranges because that's what I want to be prepared for. Because what do I need to overthink the good side for? Because if it's good, then I don't need to be concerned about it. I'll just flow with it. So I'm normally kind of stay in this bad range here. What I found that's helped me a little bit, to be honest, I've only done it once, but I plan on doing it again today, is just writing a full-blown journal where I just write my thoughts down. People always say they don't know how to start a journal. Mine is just like, I just started saying, hey, Eric, it's Saturday afternoon. You're not feeling too hot today. You know, you're feeling some stress. You got some chest tightness. I think it's, and then it just starts going off. If you're just having a conversation with yourself, I found that kind of clears my mind a little bit. So I don't have to swirl in a cyclone of thought. I can almost just say like, well, I already thought about all this. I already wrote it all down. There's nothing more to say. Yeah. Where once it's all written down, it's kind of you extracted it from your mind and it doesn't need to swirl quite so heavily.
Yeah. Funny thing about that is only people who write or type are the ones who, I guess more so in writing. I'm not sure if you've ever utilized, you're a very techie guy, probably don't. I have a few notebooks in my duffel bag, in my backpack, that when I have some thoughts that I feel like I need to write, it's, I don't know, it's amazing how it stays more in you, but kind of like takes off that edge of like, I don't have to rethink about that all the time because I already know I have that written down and that's already taken care of. So,
yeah. And to that point, me being a classic overthinker, I actually thought before I did my journal, I'm like, I need to get a pen and paper because that's the correct way to do it. I need to write in a journal because it's more holistic and more natural,
of course.
Blah, blah.
There's no other way.
Shut up. No, but I had to let go of that kind of belief and just say, like, I'm going to do what's best for me. What's best for me is I am a techie guy.
Yeah.
And I find when I write things down that I'll start to speed up my writing. I'll write fast. So instead what I did is I just opened up a app on my computer called OneNote, and I just created a tab in the journal, and I start just typing because I can type faster than I can write. And that way I feel like I'm getting accomplished and I'm like pouring out my mind faster than trying to write it down. So, and it also syncs between my devices because I am a techie guy. I can access this journal on my iPad, iPhone, laptop, or computer.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
So
I'm a little old school in that end. Either I'm old school, I just don't know how to use a computer. Hey, however you want to take it, no matter.
It's what works best for you, right?
Yeah. I got a couple of things. I think it's almost like a challenge that I want to give out there, and hopefully get a response from people who are listening. I just want to know, I challenge everyone to.
Why are you challenging people during these hard times?
That's when it matters the most, man.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I challenge someone to acquire like a good habit, like something good. So whatever that may be for you, if that's journaling or cooking breakfast this time instead of like a drive-through. Like, I think cooking would be one of the best. I think that's an essential to live a healthier life. Yeah. Right? It's for you to prepare your own meals. So I challenge anyone who's listening to this to acquire something good, like a good habit, and let us know about it. If you can let us know about it, that'd be great. Like we would love to hear from you. And then another thing.
How would you let us know, Eljay?
That's Eric's job. That's not my job.
I'm over here, not over there.
Different on my technology. Never perfect,
So if you acquired a new habit that you want to talk to us about, hit us up on Instagram, either his personal, my personal, or at E2 Perform.
E2 Performance.
E2_performance at Instagram.
Yeah. And then another challenge that I want to do, and I would love to hear about this, because again, there's already so much negative about COVID, about things that's going on out here, and it's all outside our control. If you're in a good position right now, let's say you still have a job, you're not sick, you got a little bit extra time on your hands. If you can do something good for someone, and then let us know about it, I would love to give you a shout out even. All right. Do something good. So again, I will try and challenge myself to do something good for someone, kind of like outside my scope. I'll challenge Eric on doing that too. I'll challenge my wife. My wife's been doing that like everywhere now though, like almost all the time. So I'm almost like behind on that one. But if you can do something good, I think that just gotta, and then if you do something good, try and challenge someone too. I just almost kind of like want to spread that out there. Yeah. In the middle of all this uncertainty and negative situation.
Cool. We'll figure out something to do good. Good stuff.
Hey, this podcast is good.
All right, let's quickly review this. Coping strategies, stay connected, find an accountability buddy, create some group chats, stay connected, looped in with your people. Mm-hmm. Exercise, meditation. You can check out the Waking Up app. Writing in a journal to clear your mind, or writing in a gratitude journal. Yep. Even if you don't think that a journal is something good for you, just grab your phone, go to the notes section, just start typing your thoughts down. Like, what do you think
amazing
right now?
Yeah. It's amazing. When you start, it's almost like you can't stop.
Yeah, like you can just keep going. Your mind never stops thinking. It's never clearly blank. It's always something kind of rolling around in there. Just hammer it down into your phone or write it down.
Yeah. And then again, if you can acquire a good habit that will help you, whether COVID's done or still ongoing, acquire a good habit that will help you or get you closer to your goals. And then if you can do something good for others, that'd be amazing.
So to kind of wrap this bad boy up, I just want to say too, like for anybody who's actually affected with this, who's experiencing like anxiety or depression, or they're getting really banged up or hurt by this, I personally utilize this service. It's called OwlPod, OWLPOD. So if you just Google OwlPod, I can't say if it's for Canada wide, but definitely in Alberta, it's it's a bunch of doctors that come together to kind of just talk to you through your issues and stuff. And I've talked to two different doctors thus far about things that are causing me excess stress and things that are causing me excess anxiety. And I have to say, man, like I've utilized different doctors and therapists or psychiatrists in the past, and these guys do an amazing job. Like listeners, like to sort out your mind and really do a good job on giving different kind of strategies to cope with this. Like I actually have homework in my email right now from my doctor on things that I need to do personally to try to help with my anxiety. And it's almost like a different form of accountability buddy, however you want to slice it. But they do a good job. If you're really struggling with somebody, I think those are the guys to talk to. And they do it just through a conversation like this. It's kind of like, it's not Zoom, but it's kind of like Zoom where it's just they schedule an appointment and you get to talk to a real doctor. I think it's valuable.
And again, I encourage everyone, if you got it this far and you're still listening, we would love to be connected with you. So you can be part of a call. You can text us. You can message us through Instagram, whether through it's our personal page or E2 Performance. If you're at a point where you feel like you can't talk to anyone, we would love to be connected with you. You're not alone.
All right. Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Thanks for listening, guys. Until next time.
Tell everyone, Eljay, to like, press the button here and click that button over there and press this one here. The like, subscribe, comment, the buttons. Peace.